Good morning. My name is Eric Witowski, and this is my book notes to assignment. Now, in this assignment, we are to go to chapter 3 and read chapter 3, pages 23 to 29, to also take notes either in a mind map or a way that we find best for ourselves. Now, I find that this chapter was a very good chapter to read. It really falls in line with the agile flow of information. What I found is that a morning a month is the major plan that wants to be followed or needs to be followed. Now, the morning a month is essentially the vendor telling the manager that they're doing this project to basically do testing to make sure that this project that they're doing works. Now, creating this master plan is basically a breakdown to explain to the customer in smaller parts. Testing can be done in the morning at then a very small group of 3 to 5 people. Now, there may be skeptics, but you can always tell them this is done to find the larger problem. Now, there's half-day testing, or we call it 8 to 11, 9 to 12 testing is put in place to find one thing, the major problem. There is a small investment. Now, that may seem like a little much depending on the size of the company, but over a year's time, it really is broken down to 2,000 versus about 6,000, and in a workflow there would be a budget in place to show how everything breaks down. Now, this type of testing I like to call and remember as more of a morning a sprint is the way I would like to do it if it was possible. The morning a month is great. Going 30 days is a little bit long, a bit of time to do one testing in a month. Sometimes there could be 3-to-1 testing. You do the testing at 3 weeks and then do the testing at the 4th week, or do testing bi-weekly. Because going a whole month without testing can cause possibly problems that you could have stopped earlier on in the project. Now, this chapter talked about the big honkin' test versus the morning a month process. The big honkin' test is one way for a company or a vendor to test it, and to test it with lots of people, lots of money. The do-it-yourself test, or the morning a sprint, or morning a month, well, this test is usually done at the 2nd or 3rd week, even possibly the 4th week, depending on the size of the project. In the book, it does say morning a month, one time a month, and this is done with 3 people in one morning to find out what problems have come up or what are the major problems to fix. Well, like I said, it is a guideline that we do these testing morning a month, once a month, but it's just a guideline. It can be done more than once a month. It could be done twice a month, once a week. Depends on how much information the company or vendor or customer that is building this project wants. Now, the biggest roadblock that is going to be always up in with too many variables is convincing the manager that this agile model is the best model. And the one thing I can say is that this agile model is a flexible model, and that's really what managers love to hear, is the flexibility of anything they can come in contact with. You convince them that you develop to test and develop and test, and that the real reason the morning a month testing with 3 people is that you use the 3 people not to fight over colors, but you use the 3 people to distinguish what has to be fixed. Thank you. Good day.